Hey, good morning. Yes. Frankie, say hello. Pa, do you know what? I can't train this dog. I'm a words trainer, or this dog is the hardest headed thing. He's more like a cat, a stubborn ass cat. Frankie, say hi. Kimmy, say hi. Kimmy. Oh, am I stressing you out? Oh, he loves me. Oh my God, I swear. Sorry, God. I was going to give that dog away this week. He has been on a rampage. It's been so gross outside. Ooh. Rainy, cold, windy, wet. And he's making the house a mess, going in and out. So I finally put up a baby gate to keep him out. And then I realized this morning, I've been doing that for the last couple days, and the house is a mess. When I forget to put the gate up. And what I should have done is gate him in the house, because he doesn't potty in the house ever. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm not letting him outside. Okay, so I'm going to cover a couple things. First, I'm going to do a little reading. I hope you have your coffee. And this is the book I'm reading from. And I am reading page 4. I went through the introduction, and some of this book, I'm going to skip around because I was going to go from front to back. But some of this book is for different phases of people's lives. And I'm only concerned about mine. So it's about growth, or at least like kind of affirming where I'm at, or reminding me of some of the better parts of my journey. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to read it. Today I recognize that my life is lived through no one but me. I am the source of sustenance and strength that I am looking for. Within me lies all the beauty, strength, and wisdom it will take to create myself, a self. I am my own best friend and my beacon in the storm. My light lives within, and I am the keeper of my own flame. I do not need to wait to be granted a self from some outside source. I will be the grantor. Accumulating accolades from outside in an attempt to establish an inner beauty or identity will not accomplish what I am looking for. Ultimately, I will need to locate myself from within. The soul that I search for, I already have. Oh, such a good reminder. Amen. Well, I hope you got something out of that. I've got such a long to-do list today that I'm not going to dawdle too much on just chit-chat. I want to take care of some business. Number one, I'm hoping I hear from Patricia soon, because she's had surgery. Not the old Patricia, the one from my messages. A gal that I'm getting to know that a little at a time, like I'm getting to know all of you, who's just so sweet. And she's had some surgery. I think it was on Tuesday. And so I just want to say I'm thinking of you, and I just have kept you in my prayers, and want to say dearest Heavenly Father, please watch over Patricia and help her heal in a way that helps her feel blessed. And Lord, bring to her the knowledge that there are those of us who care, who haven't even met her in person, but we care, and we are wrapping our arms around her now. Help her feel the joy and love that we're sharing with her in this moment. Bless every cell in her body and help them move in the way they need to move and behave in the way they need to behave to help the healing go very smoothly and quickly. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. I just love praying for people. Sometimes I stumble over my words, and sometimes the words just come out, and I have no idea what I just said. Just like in sessions, sometimes a client will, I'll get on a rant. A client will say, what did you, oh, say that again. I'm going to write that down. I'm like, I have no idea what I said. So I hope, Patricia, when you hear this, you know I meant well. And also, I had a request to talk about narcissists. I don't know what the ratio is of having more than one narcissist in the family. I can say that personality traits can run in the family. And, of course, you know that. And the big thing is, some people do not have empathy, much empathy at all. And they can, in my opinion, be considered low on the narcissistic scale. Depending how flip they are about not having empathy, then they start moving up higher to where they get arrogant about it, and that gets them higher on the scale. And then some will actually, I haven't used this for a while. I don't remember why I got it. But I know I had a lot of makeup go bad because I kept it too long, because I bought it because I thought, ooh, this is good, but it was either a winter or a summer makeup, and I ended up having them in the back of the drawer for a couple years. That's why I got so organized. Another good reason to get really organized like I am and have self-discipline to not buy a bunch of more makeup. You know, it's hard to match my skin color, so a lot of makeup just got wasted. Not every makeup foundation can be mixed together either, in my book. Okay, so back to narcissism. Here's the thing. To be able to understand how callous someone else is, or obnoxious, because some narcissists, or some people on the low empathy scale, which I kind of loosely consider on low on the narcissist, high on the scale of lack of empathy, puts them on the scale of narcissism as far as I'm concerned, low. Like, a lot of us are self-centered and will not care if someone stands in our way of what we want. There are a lot of people like that that are not narcissists. I know that I was career driven and would pick fights to be able to work late or have an excuse to work late because I love my job so much. And so I wouldn't be desired at home. What a jerk. That's low on the that's on the narcissistic scale. Fairly, it's under 5. However, it wasn't a permanent condition. That was because I needed more therapy to help me recognize the world wasn't about me and my resume. Yeah. Well, and you know, when you think about how someone's grown up, it's also about how are they responding to the world based on the information they were given growing up. You see what I mean? Just because someone looks like a narcissist doesn't necessarily mean they are a narcissist. I mean, And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if someone's a narcissist or not, if they're willing to hurt you. And that was one of the things I had to make amends for, or just pray to God to forgive me because people weren't in my life anymore. It was about, I'm sorry I was so callous and unthoughtful, inconsiderate, just didn't consider, just had no way to think, wow, what I'm doing is not helping me build the family, the home that I say I want. It's tearing it down. I had no way to connect those dots. I hope you understand that. So when you look at your relationships with others, and it's real easy to feel like someone else is standing between you and what you want. But sometimes it's us standing between what we want. It's just our brain can only see the other person misbehaving. We can't see what we're doing to drive them away, right? So my ex-husband could have come to work with me since I was building a business. He could have helped support me in that more to help build trust, that I could trust him, but I didn't know how to ask him to come. And when I did ask him, of course, it was inconvenient. So there's all that drama, right? I can tell you that I can tell you what I think would have helped, but I don't really know. And I'll tell you why. Because I was so self-centered, I don't know if I would have ever treated him right in a way that would have helped secure our family. I may have just kept asking for more and more and more and more, because I didn't have the therapy to help sustain, and I didn't know how to get the love I was looking for, the affirmations I was looking for. I just didn't know how. When you're working with a narcissist, I'm not a narcissist. I was behaving like one. I had been abused until I found drugs and alcohol. Then I was basically drunk or high and in abusive relationships until I was 29. Then at 29, even though my career started improving and getting better, I had not been raised, grown up in a way till I was 30 that prepared me for an intimate, healthy relationship. So I'm just saying, sometimes someone is not a narcissist and there's just no way to help them grow unless they're willing and able to grow. I was willing, but you're not able until you have the building blocks. Hardly anyone is able to grow without building blocks, and I just didn't have them. So building blocks for me came over years. I was a damaged soul. So I'm putting on makeup, even just doing housework, because it makes me feel better. And I've got to have some rules in place today, some healthy boundaries, because I don't want a bunch of company coming over today. I want to concentrate on my house. Okay, so I hope that makes sense so far. Now, if someone is a narcissist, it's kind of like, pick a topic like, I am interested in almost everything. I'm fascinated by almost everything. So it's hard for me to pick this out. But let me just give you an example. Let's say you're a feminine woman and you don't like getting your hands dirty unless it's in the kitchen or in the house. The last thing you want to do is go out to the garage and change the oil. You're just like, why would I do that? Why? Carry on, right? Well, where's my A narcissist feels the same way when, I wish I could think of a different way. So it would be like someone offered you to do that. Come out to the garage and change the oil if you feel like it. And you would be like, no thanks. Or why would I do that? A narcissist, when somebody says, think about what somebody else feels, they're not saying, no, why would I do that? Because they're lazy. They're saying, no, why would I do that? Because it doesn't make sense to them. Or I was just thinking, there are some volunteer situations in other countries. And I think, ooh, if I were younger, maybe I would volunteer to do this, something like that. But in real life, that's not the kind of thing I would have fun doing. I would volunteer doing counseling, but I don't really want to go out and dig a well more than 1 or 2 days in a row. I don't want to go for a whole month digging wells and doing construction work. I'm willing to do it for a day or two, but that's it, right? So I'm thinking, why would I fly all the way to South America, Africa, or the suburbs of New York when I have no interest in doing that kind of, why would I? I don't want it, right? So it just wouldn't make sense for me, especially at my age. And it would be a waste of my resources when I could be doing something else that's helpful, that I'd be decent at, you know? A narcissist thinks about, why would I put myself in your shoes? Why would I treat you nice when I don't have to? That's how they are, right? I don't have to. Why would I do that? I have other shit to do. That's what being a narcissist is like. And now that's around the 4 to 6 range, right? And I say that because in there, depending on some of their other personality traits, they may have been able to learn how to look like they care under certain situations. You would never know they were a narcissist because they know how to be polite. They know, because of TV and the media, they know how to appear like they blend with their environment. Some say that the research shows that most CEOs and company presidents, politicians, lawyers, and doctors, these high up organized thinkers, are on the narcissistic scale, very low on empathy at the very least. So even if they're low on there, but they're like at least a 3. So my concern is about the narcs that are from 7 to 10. That's mine. Because what happens with them is they don't just ignore you. They're not just a little flip, like obviously they don't care, which is very hurtful. But the ones from 7 to 10, they like to experiment with mere mortals. They think it's a little funny. They're like, how can I entertain myself? How can I get them to jump through some hoops? How can I get them to do the things I want them to do? And not use up too much of my own energy. It might be fun. Let's see what they can do. I don't have anything else to do. You know what? I'm bored. I'm going to give so-and-so a call, or I'm going to do this or that. And then if you don't play their game, they just ignore you because you're not entertaining. Unless they're obsessed with you and you're one of the main people in their little flock. You know, narcissists have favorites, and they're usually people who respond strongly to them. or people who they know get really upset. That it's entertaining for them. The narcs that are higher on the scale, they're the ones who are not psychopaths or antisocials exactly, but they are like, they get to a point high on narcissistic scale where they can be cruel, passive aggressive, or like domestic violence type behavior, or they dangle and then, oop, sorry, can't do it. Dangle, oops, sorry, don't do it. Or here, do my laundry, do my ironing, clean my house, go grocery shopping, or oh, I need this and that. And then they're spending their money and time hanging out with someone else doing the same thing, basically. But you're their puppet, you're their slave. They'll have sex with you and say, oh yeah, baby, you're the greatest, and say almost everything except I love you. Or if they are really high, they'll say they love you and oh, you're the greatest, and they'd kill themselves without you, but they've got 5 other girlfriends or boyfriends on the side. I mean, it's ridiculous. I feel especially sorry for parents because, like spouses, they're willing to give almost their life. They're willing to hawk their house, sell their cars, their artwork. They're willing to lose their reputation and be embarrassed in public or have to go to the hospital because of the stress or physical abuse, mental abuse of their narcissist. I will tell you the reason why I don't work with narcissists. I've only tried it a couple times out of curiosity, but only a couple sessions. And that's several sessions with one guy. And some people are so good at hiding their narcissism because they like playing the game. You may not know they're a narcissist, and even me won't. The charmers. There are some narcissists that are charmers, and that's how you get some of these horrible crimes going on, or cross over into antisocial psychopath. It doesn't bother them to see pain. It's entertaining. Now, hopefully it's on a low level, but going back to why I don't see them is because going to therapy helps them understand how to hurt others better, how to lure them in better with good behavior, and then they can go in and do what they always do, just to see how high they'll jump. That's why once I find out someone's an art, I let them know that, I think I've taught you all I can. I'm going to have to refer you to someone else. Because I don't have the skill to teach. No one does. The only thing you can do with someone who's on the narcissist scale is to teach them how to have better manners. And if you're the therapist that's helping them do that, you better make sure that your narc is on the low scale. Because if they're on 7 or above, for sure, you're just teaching them how to manipulate others better. They're not. Oh my God. I remember I loaned one of my clients some books on how to heal his relationship with his wife, how to be able to open up and be honest with her, encouraging books, Wounded Boys, Healing Men, kind of things, like opening up after the affair. What was it? What was the name of that book? For Him Only, For Her Only. or for men only, for women only, had him read those. Well, turns out he wasn't using them to help be the man that his wife was hoping for. He was using them to learn how to woo other women. So sad. And I felt terrible when I found out what he was doing. And how I found out is because he kind of bragged about it. Oh my God, that was hard on me. As a therapist, you live and learn, right? So as soon as I found out, I referred him out. And I thought I was doing so good with him. And, yeah. Anyway, moving on. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, there's a place where you just have to decide how much of yourself are you going to give to get what they're offering you. You have to decide if you need Codependence Anonymous and do some online meetings at codependence.org. Meetings all day long, I think every day. You can put the app on your phone or on your computer. You can learn more about narcissism. But the problem with a lot of the things that's on the internet about narcissism is they don't talk about the scale. They make it sound like this is how narcissists act. Well, yeah, they can act like that, but they're usually referring to someone higher on the scale. And I do believe there's room for discussion for there being a spectrum. That's my take. So that's just my opinion from years of experience, is that people, they'll say, oh, so-and-so's low on empathy. Okay, but low on empathy has nothing to do with not knowing social graces. It has nothing to do with low empathy and rude. Doesn't have to go together. That's when you're on the narcissistic scale or borderline or bipolar episode or just being an asshole, right? If someone's willing to be rude and still acts like or gives the impression they still want you around or they expect you to be around forever, that's narcissistic behavior. Whether they have one of these other mental health issues that are, like bipolar is treatable with medication, dedication to medication. Borderline isn't. That's to me can also be added into the narcissistic spectrum. In my opinion, this is my opinion, because they cannot control their behavior without a lot of therapy and dedication to therapy that isn't completely self-centered, self-survival mode. People with borderline really are so centered on their own broken heart, their own self-esteem, their own whatever, and anything that'll help lift them up is what's going to make them feel better. And that is a narcissist high on the scale without the broken heart. They don't have the broken heart. They can pretend to have a broken heart, but they don't have that component. I hope this is making sense. If you have someone who's narcissistic and over time you have this feeling like this is a little over the top. Like this one client I was telling you about. He told me that some of the romantic ways he was trying to once I busted him on it, because I kept having these feelings. So finally I just told him, here's my suspicion. This is what I think you're doing. Is it true? Because I wasn't seeing any improvement with him and his wife. Matter of fact, it looked like it was worse. And the math didn't add up for me. So anyway, long story short, he got honest with me and said that he actually told the main girl he was interested in on the side, I had to have a pacemaker, long story short, I had to have a pacemaker put in, and I'll have it taken out if you don't love me. Why should I bother? You know, romantic, thick, lay it on, the tears, the whatever. Tears don't come from feelings only. Remember, tears can also come from acting, and that a good narcissist can control. That's what they do, is they act through life. If it has anything to do with connecting emotionally, because they can't connect emotionally. They can see the value in the relationship. And if they're low on the scale, they see your value enough that they will give and take what they have to offer. And it's usually money or gifts. Or if they're patient, they can sit, nod, and smile and have a conversation. But it's not going to be a meaningful, sweet, loving, gosh, I love you kind of thing. I hope this helps. Just wanted to throw out that information and throw out the prayer. And it's a beautiful day. It's super windy out. So I'm going to open up the house and start cleaning. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Y'all have a wonderful day. I love you. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Leave a little message. All right. Bye for now. Say bye for now. Bye for now. Bye for now.